Hello, thanks for joining me. I'm Janice Jones with Made For You Cards. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to show you how to make this cute Minecraft creeper card. Let me get started. We're going to use the Simply Scored tool, and what we're going to start with today, this will be the background of your card. So this is just a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of basic black, and then I have another piece of basic black that's just cut 2 by 2. And then I have a piece of wild wasabi green, which is cut 2 by 3 inches. And then I have a piece of gray, it's just basic gray, and it's cut 3 1/2 by 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull our Simply Scored tool over here, and we're going to score all the pieces using the stylus that comes with it. Okay, so we're just going to put our wild wasabi piece up in the corner, and as you can see, the Simply Scored has a ruler on both sides and a scoring groove that you can start in. So we're going to score at 1/4 inches all the way across the wild wasabi piece. And basically what we're doing is we're just making the blocks that are so prevalent in Minecraft. When I first started making this card, I could not figure out what size to start with, so I just started wasting paper until I figured it out. And you could do this on a scrapbook page and just use it in different ways. Okay, so now hopefully you can see the scored piece. It's just 1/4 inch scores all the way across, and I'm going to do that with all my other pieces, my black piece and my gray piece. Okay, so I'm finishing up scoring my last piece here, and of course you score one way on your piece of paper, and then you turn it and score it the other way until you have it scored all the way across. And it does take a little bit of time, but it's really not hard at all. And you can make some really fun things with the Simply Scored plate. Okay, so my gray one is now scored, and it looks like I missed a spot. So we're all scored. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this black piece that we used, and we're going to cut out his eyes and his mouthpiece with this. And basically, I'm going to cut across the 2 top rows because we need 4 little blocks for his eyes. So there's 1 eye, 2 eyes, and the rest you can discard. So you've got your 2 eyes, and I'm going to move Simply Scored tool so that you can see what I'm doing. And then on the next one, I'll lay this down here so you can see it. It's just a 1 inch square. I'm going to cut it at 4 quarters this way, and then 4 quarters this way. And then we're going to come in and take the 2 outside squares off the top, and then I'm going to take the 2 inside squares from the middle of the bottom row, and that'll give you his very scary face. Okay, so now we have his face, and we're going to come back into our gray piece, and basically this was a random this is a random pattern that I came up with. I just went 2 in, 2 down, and took out a square, and just kind of went around the edges doing that. If you've ever seen the Minecraft designs online, they're building with blocks basically, so they are they're just kind of random patterns where you can see that they're, you know, putting blocks together. So that's what I did, is I came through and I left a couple of blocks sticking out, and, you know, just went in and took some out of the middle and then left some on the ends, so that it would just look kind of random. So once you get this part finished, you can go in and start making him look pixelated. And the way that we're going to make him look pixelated, if you get online and look at the pictures of him, he's not a solid green color. I started out trying to make him a solid green color, and that just did not look right. So I went in and decided to change some of the colors on some of the blocks to make him look more pixelated. So, okay, this is what our background's going to look like. And we're going to also pixelate the background. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to take sponge daubers and some ink. And what I've done is chosen a white ink, a black ink, just basic black, a white craft ink, and an always artichoke ink. And so we're going to take those and use sponge daubers. And I made a template so that when I sponge, I'm only going to get one square at a time. So basically, we're going to pull this green one over here, and we're just going to randomly work on some squares and make them a darker color green. So you're going to hold your template in place and just sponge some darker color. Can you see how that changed it? And then we're just going to pick some other places and randomly sponge. And they don't have to be completely perfect. It just needs to look like there's some variation in the colors of the blocks. And of course you don't need to do it in the middle because you're going to have his face there in the middle. So as you go around, you're just going to pick some different squares and color them a little darker. And we're also going to color some of them lighter so that they're white. And then that's going to add to the pixelation look of him too. And so that's your green. And then we're going to pull the white out and do the same thing with your white. And we're just going to lay it on different squares. And so none of your creepers have to look the same. If you're making several cards, they can all be different pixelated looks to them. It would be too hard for me to try to figure out where exactly I've put a white square and where I've put a green square. So I think it's okay if we don't make them all match. So and you can put as many as you want on it. It doesn't have to be, you know, a whole lot. I just want to try to get a few white ones in here as we're doing it. So there's your green piece, and it's pixelated now. And we're going to take the eye pieces and the mouth piece, and I'm just going to add some dimensionals on the back of them and attach them. And when you put your eyes and your mouth together, you have to pay attention to where your squares are, because they need to be together. Your eyes are going to be two squares apart, like so. And then this piece is going to come in, and these little corners at the top basically need to be touching the eyes, so that they look like the creeper, like so. So there's his face. And then you're going to go through and you're going to do the same thing to your gray one, except I'm going to use black and white and just add some darker places on this one so that it looks more pixelated, with some darker ones and some lighter ones, just like we did on the other piece over there. Just to give it a little bit more depth and pixelation. Looks more like what the computer makes it look like when you're building something in Minecraft. And I know a lot about that since my kids stay on Minecraft a lot. They love it, love it, love it. And of course with this one you don't have to hit the middle very much either, because the face is going to be covering what's in the middle. And notice some of those are lighter and some of them are darker. If you actually tap off a little bit, you'll get kind of a grayish hue, which is good too, because then you don't end up with such a dark black in there. And that way they're kind of random coloring. So now we're going to do some white ones, just in a couple of different spots so that we have some lighter ones and some darker ones. I think I'm getting a little carried away, but alright, I think that looks pretty good. So we're going to stop, put our ink up. And then we're going to attach our face with some more dimensionals to our gray piece. I love dimensionals. If you watch very many of my videos, you'll figure that out. But I love to work with dimensionals. I like for everything to have a little pop. And I just mounted him on here, kind of at an angle. And then you want to mount that part onto your card, again with some dimensionals. And then on my card, I cut out BOOM and put that at the bottom because whenever the creeper shows up in your Minecraft creation, you generally are going to have something blown up. So he creates chaos apparently. But these are just from a die of alphabet die that I ran through the Big Shot. And you can use any kind of letters you like on the bottom if you want to put boom. And so that's your finished card. I hope you've enjoyed the Minecraft Creeper tutorial. I'll see you next time.